I just got back from an amazing 2 weeks of traveling around Turkey on a budget, and I'm guessing you guys have clicked on this video because you're about to do the exact same thing. Well, you're in luck, mostly because you're going to be traveling to one of the most beautiful countries, but also because I've made this video to help you plan out your perfect 2-week budget-friendly itinerary. I'm going to be giving you guys a rundown of my travel itinerary and telling you what I would have done differently. Obviously, this is very subjective information, but I really hope that it will help you guys plan out your perfect route. Like most people probably will, we started our Turkish adventure in Istanbul. It's the most densely populated city in Turkey, which makes it really easy to access in terms of transport. We actually took a bus from Sofia to Istanbul, long and painful to say the least. In Istanbul, we stayed 4 nights and 5 days at a hostel called Jumba, situated in the cutest neighborhood of Taksim. Now, Taksim has so many cute little cafes, antique stores, restaurants, and of course, bars. I can't recommend this hostel and this suburb enough. Now, 4 nights was the perfect amount of time in Istanbul because we were able to explore the city without feeling rushed off our feet. I mean, we spent so much time drinking iced coffee in cafes. But we also had time to do a walking tour, to explore the old town, to head over to the Asian side, and we even had a hammam. But unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to explore the Princess Islands. So if that is something that you really want to do while you're in Istanbul, I would probably recommend staying an extra day. The next part of the trip would have been excruciating, only for the fact that I had the whole back seat of the bus to spread out and sleep for the next 10 hours. Yep, that's right. We took a bus from Istanbul's main station to Denizli, and from Denizli, we took a taxi to Pamukkale, which took over 12 hours. We did that for the obvious reason of it being a lot cheaper than just taking a domestic flight. We spent 1 day and 1 night at Pamukkale purely for the purpose of exploring the UNESCO World Heritage Site's natural hot spring pools. You pay 15 euros and you get access to the pools, but also to the ancient city of Herpolis. I don't know, correct me down below. The ruins were breathtaking, especially the amphitheater, but honestly, we were left feeling a little bit underwhelmed by the pools themselves because from photos we'd seen in advertising campaigns looking like these, we thought that we would be able to swim in the pools, but unfortunately we couldn't. So I feel like I was a bit blindsided. Maybe it was my own fault not doing the research, but you guys watching this have the information. You can't swim here, and yeah, it just left us feeling a little bit underwhelmed. So would I recommend visiting Pamukkale? Well, it is in the middle of nowhere, and there is no doubt that the marketing team have done an excellent job promoting this site. I honestly felt that it was a bit overrated, but if you feel this burning desire to go there and to see it for yourself, then do it. But knowing what I know now and having been there, I wouldn't feel disappointed if I missed out on it. And you can always just watch my vlog or check some photos on the internet. I guess that's the next best thing. I feel like now would be a good idea to let you guys know that I have left all of the places that we stayed in and also some additional recommendations down below in the description, so don't forget to check that out. After Pamukkale, we made the biggest mistake of our trip. Marmaris. A place where British bogans, I don't know if I should say that, that's so insensitive. They come to stay at all-inclusive hotels and have essentially taken over the town. We took a bus from Denizli to Marmaris and stayed the next 2 nights there. In hindsight, unfortunately. But I made the mistake so you guys don't have to. And I guess you've clicked on this video because you're looking for a budget backpacking itinerary. And I'm telling you, Marmaris is is not that place. Instead, what I would do is I would head straight from Pamukkale to Oludeniz, our next destination, and then use those extra 2 nights that you've gained later on to stay in cash. But I will talk about that in a sec. So ideally here, you've skipped Marmaris, you've taken a bus from Denizli to Fethiye, and from Fethiye, you've taken the minibus to Oludeniz, where you'll be spending the next 2 nights in Oludeniz hostel. I would highly recommend staying here, not for the cleanliness, it was a bit manky, but for the vibe. We were able to meet some of the coolest people on our trip, amazingly thanks to the hostel's terrace, which is just has the best vibe for meeting like-minded backpackers. Now, one of the main tourist destinations, and actually the reason that we came to Oludeniz, is because it's famous for paragliding. And when I was researching on the internet, I saw that it was about 50 euros, but when I got there, prices had increased over the summer to 130 euros, which I absolutely could not justify as a backpacker. So instead, we spent our days laying on the beaches, working on our tan or sunburn, whatever way you want to look at it. One beach worth visiting in Oludeniz is Kidrak Beach. It's just around the corner from the Oludeniz main beach, which is sometimes a bit overcrowded. I don't know, Oludeniz was just that perfect beach escape that we really needed. Okay, so if I could rewind and go back in time, here is when I would use those 2 nights that you've saved by not staying in Marmaris and head from Oludeniz to Kaş and stay the next 2 nights there. As we were driving on the bus to our next destination of Olympos, we passed through the town of Kaş, and it just looked so beautiful and more like those backpacker vibes we were looking for. We also met a fair few backpackers after the fact who recommended we should visit Kaş, so that makes me think it would be worth it to stay there for 2 nights. Now, seeing as we missed the memo on Kaş, we headed straight to Olympos from Oludeniz, where we spent the next 4 nights, and what a good decision that turned out to be. Olympos is very chilled, it just has this hippie vibe, very relaxed atmosphere, and feels like a little oasis escape from the rest of the world. There are lots of activities to do in Olympos. We hung out on the beach, which had the warmest water. We went rock climbing, we explored the ancient ruins, and we visited the Eternal Flame. There are also a number of hikes that you can do in Olympos, but we kind of opted to spend our time drinking and partying, meeting other backpackers from all around the world, and I think it was really a social part of the trip for us, which we all really enjoyed. If I haven't convinced you yet about Olympos, I don't know what will. So after spending the most amazing time in Olympos, we took our final minibus of the trip from Olympos to Antalya. We spent 3 nights in Antalya, but if you guys really only have a strict 2-week, 14-day time limit, then it would be totally fine to just spend 1 day, 1 night exploring Antalya. You wouldn't really be missing that much. Antalya is such an obvious place to end your 2-week Turkey trip because they have an international airport, which is where I took my flight back to France. Now, we spent a really chill 3 days in Antalya, mostly because I ate something and I don't really need to explain the rest of that, do I? We ate the yummiest food in Antalya, we chilled at the beach, we visited a waterfall, I got a tattoo. You can watch all of that in the vlog. It was just really nice to savor the last moments in Turkey because who knows when I'll be back. In the next video, I'll be doing a budget breakdown of my Turkey trip. So if you don't want to miss that video, maybe consider subscribing. And yeah, that is how I would recommend spending 2 weeks backpacking, or rather budgeting your way through Turkey. This country absolutely blew my mind, and I'm sure it's going to do the same to you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to check out all of those helpful links that I have left down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video and letting me help you plan out your perfect budgeting Turkey 2-week itinerary. That was a mouthful. Bye bye.